verse 11. So I will read the verse in the word by word translation, synonyms, translation and purport. The verse is, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathave bhajamyaham mama vartaman anuvartante manushya partha sarvashah. Ye, all who, yatha, as, mam, unto me, prapadyante, surrender, tan, them, tatha, so, ev, certainly, bhajami, reward, aham, I, mama, my, vartama, path, anuvartante, follow, manushya, all men, partha, O son of Pritha, sarvashah, in all respects. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. Translation goes, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. Purport. Everyone is searching for Krishna in different aspects of his manifestations. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahma Jyotir effulgence and as the all-pervading Supersoul dwelling within everything, including the particles of atoms. But Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization, and thus anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him.
After a row over a family meal, Penelope Jackson admitted the attack when police made the arrest. I admit it. Get that. Right, I'm doing it. Right.
Sorry about that. So, in the transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with pure devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as the devotee wants him. One devotee may want Krishna as Supreme Master, another as his personal friend, another as his son, and still another as his lover. Krishna rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged by the Lord with different types of worshippers. The pure devotee, both here and in the transcendental abode, associate with him in person and are able to render personal service to the Lord and thus derive transcendental bliss in his loving service. As for those who are impersonalists and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by absorbing them into his effulgence. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal blissful personality of Godhead. Consequently, they cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. Some of them who are not firmly situated even in the impersonal existence return to this material world to exhibit their dormant desires for activities. They are not admitted into spiritual planets, but they are again given a chance to act on the material planets. For those who are fruity workers, the Lord awards the desired results of their prescribed duties as a Yajneshwar, and those who are yogis, seeking mystic powers, are awarded such powers. In other words, everyone is dependent for success upon his mercy alone. And all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection in Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect, as is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10. Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Whether one is without desire the condition of the devotees, or is desirous of all fruitive activities, or is after liberation. One should, with all efforts, try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness. Jai. So we will chant our prayers. You can join me if anyone is inspired. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaragunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaganalalita Shri Vishakhanutam Se Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Paschata Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adigaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Right. Thank you so much, everyone, for making it this evening. So many of you, so much inspiring to be here in your association. So I seek everyone's blessings so that I'm able to speak something useful in this month of, most auspicious month of Damodar. Every day, in the morning and the evening, devotees are offering lamps to Damodar, Ishwar Damodar Bhagwan, and they are gaining unlimited blessings of the Lord, because this is the most auspicious month during the whole year. We are all looking forward to this time when this month will start, and there will be so much devotional activities going on everywhere. It's recommended to go to the temple every day if possible. Obviously, everything is subject to possible. Otherwise, we have temples at home, but we offer lamp to Damodar Bhagavan. So thank you once again for being here today. As I said before the beginning, we will finish all our discussions by 8:40, and then someone will chant Damodar Ashtakam prayers. That will be so nice. We have a short discussion today, and the month is Damodar, so we'll see how and what inspires everyone. We'll go that way. So the verse is Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. Srila Prabhupada explains in translation, having purport as well. So he's saying there are various types of spiritualists and the materialist as well. Whether someone is a materialist or a spiritualist, everyone is following Krishna's path. Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna, everything is Krishna in one sense. So the Vishnu is like every atom is Lord himself. He manifests in different ways. For the both ways, to facilitate the living entity to enjoy in the material world because they desire to, and then obviously he also facilitates the devotees to come back to him. So it's all about what we as living entities desire. These we will not go deep into these because we would have discussed many times. There are the three types of transcendentalists. There is yogis who are performing all the yogas and all the pranayams, and they are seeing the forearm Vishnu in the heart. And there is this impersonalist who want to merge themselves into the Brahma Jyoti effulgence, and they want to commit, beautifully explained by Prabhupada, spiritual suicide. That we have heard of material suicide, spiritual suicide. I mean, this is amazing. We read in the second chapter how soul it can never be destroyed. Yes, the soul is always remains independent. It's always there. But some of these spiritualists, they want to destroy their individual existence, which is very unique to their desires. But Lord fulfills their desires as well. But I hope they don't last long in there because intrinsically we are made up of desires to serve Krishna. So after some time, these spiritualists trying to merge or lose their identity, they develop some desire to come back and do some activity. That's how we see some of them opening hospitals and all sorts of activity, which is nice. We're not saying they're bad, which is nice. But then the very point they make of saying Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, which is saying that this material world is false, is not real. And they come back and they do exactly the same thing. They try to serve in the whatever ways they engage in the same material world. So because the desire still remains and they have to come back. Yogis are, they're doing lots of tapashyas and they are seeing some, so they are higher than the impersonalists. But they're after the tapasya, they were siddhi kami sakala shant. So there's a nice verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, mukti siddhi kami sakala shant. So all these aspirants of siddhis, they want to attain some power. They worship Krishna for that purpose. Ultimately, they become restless because there is no pleasure outside of Krishna. Krishna is that pleasure personification. So everything about Krishna is pleasure. So the only pleasure actually is in Krishna. So they also get, after some time, frustrated. We have seen many yogis, okay, you live 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, 500 years. How many years? At some stage, they have to give up the body. They get fed up. We know Krishna. Srila Prabhupada has spoken in one of the Kumbh Melas. Some devotees are asking, who are these? All these yogis coming up. Some of them, Prabhupada said, they are more than 500 years old. They just come for the dip at the time of the Kumbh Mela. Very powerful. And Krishna is the bestower of all the mercies. Krishna, in the 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna explains that in more detail as to whatever someone is aspiring, ultimately they have to only come to Krishna. In the 7th chapter Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna will explain whatever people try to gain in this world by worshipping the demigods is ultimately Krishna only has to provide them because everything is coming from Krishna. So there is nothing. The two sentences here, one is I reward them accordingly, and the second sentence, everyone follows my path in all respects. So no matter what someone is doing, if they are after the opulence, then again Lakshmi Devi, what is the permanent position of Lakshmi Devi? She is always serving Lord Narayan. So that's also, they need blessings from Krishna to be able to do anything there. Or in the spiritual way, everyone has to follow Krishna's path. But Prabhupada explains very nicely So everyone is trying to get, so this is like I don't know, maybe 50-story building or something. And there is everyone's trying to get to the top floor. Yeah. And there are ways of doing it. So everyone is on the stairs. Someone is in the first floor, someone on the second floor, third floor, depending on how much progress they're making towards their goal of attaining Krishna. They are at the various levels, and they're working very hard. It's a lot of travel to take steps all the way to the top of the hill. And then what happens is these spiritualists trying to reach to the top floor, they take a long time. And for the devotees, Prabhupada explains, there is a lift. So if you have to go on a high rise building, if you take stairs, it's going to take you a long time. But if you go via lift, you can be there in less than a minute sometimes. So in seconds, you could be there. That's how the process of bhakti is. It's very, very powerful, because Krishna is also wanting to have that personal relationship. So Prabhupada explains the different types of relationship someone can have. In the spiritual world, there is no Shantaras. So there is 4 types of relationship. Someone devotee wants as Krishna's supreme master in a Dasya Bhav. Someone wants to have a Sakyam as a personal friendship, or Vatsalya they want to be Krishna's parents. So this is the whole month is Damodar, and we such beautiful pastime for Mother Yashoda with Krishna. And then another one has his lover. So that's also there. So these are the 4 relationships that mainly happens in the spiritual world. And Krishna is exchanging those sweet relationships. And there's so many sweet pastimes that we discuss all in different scriptures. And Srimad Bhagavatam is full of that. Srila Prabhupada has written the condensed Krishna book as well. And there are hundreds of stories. Prabhupada, and there are obviously millions of stories that are available depending on what our access is. So that is really, in a nutshell, this was verse about. I was thinking this is Damodar month, so maybe we discuss more about what's happening today. So today is Bahulashtami. Does anyone know what is Bahulashtami? Ashtami means 8-day. Bahula. You know what is, so in Krishna's pastime, who is Bahula? Does anyone know?
That was the name of the cow?
Yes. Can you say the story, Mataji? What was the story? Why is it such popular? Like, what was the cow and calf made it such popular that we are observing as a festival?
I think once the lion attacked the cows.
Yes.
Bahula and her sister.
Yeah.
And she went in the gufa somewhere.
Yeah.
And the lion followed her. And she begged him. She said, "Do not kill me today because I had just baby.
Yeah.
Let me go back and feed him. And then I come back."
Yeah.
So she went. Firstly, he didn't want to let her go, but she begged and he did. So she went back and fed her child and came back, her calf. Then she came back and he was going to kill her. And there was another man, he followed her there. He said, "Kill me first, because I'm no good to anybody." Then after that, the calf followed her mother as well.
Yes.
He went to there. He said, "You kill me first, because don't kill my mother." So they were all three that was doing like that. Then Krishna appeared there, and Krishna asked the lion, "Why are you killing them?" So Krishna saved them. So.
And Krishna, what did Krishna promise in return? He said
that I will protect my devotees.
Yes, so Krishna is exchanging keeping his promise to always protect his devotees.
Yes.
Name Bhakta Pranashyati. And also he said to the tiger, he had his chakra as well, but to the lion, sorry. And said, we will, I will eternalize. So this pastime has become an eternal pastime, and we are still discussing it after 5,000 years. But the real thing was that the truthfulness of the cow, because cow promised that I will
She
come back.
promised, kept
Let
the
me,
promise.
yes, please speak. Yeah, so that is the keeping the truthfulness, which was so amazing, so beautiful pastime. Thank you so much. So this is an example of, today is the day, and this is how every day there's one or the other pastimes of Sri Krishna. There's another pastime that's happened today, is the appearance of Radha Kund today. Can anyone speak on that pastime? What happened? Such sweet pastime. It is said that there is a verse in Nectar of Instruction. Today I thought maybe let's just discuss the pastimes. But the verse says that of all that is desirous for Krishna, the most desirous of all the gopis is Srimati Radharani, and the Radha Kund, which is her own kund, is most desirable for Sri Krishna. It's a very, very auspicious day today in Vrindavan. Everyone is, well, today is a bit late now, but the whole day devotees were taking bath in Radha Kund. They were offering various, they're making various offerings. Such a beautiful, huge festival happens every year today. But I would really like someone to speak on the appearance of Radha Kund.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I try again.
Okay. Anyone else inspired, or Kanta Mataji is just so
Is there
wonderful?
anyone else? Yeah.
Okay, then please speak.
When Krishna killed, was it Keshi demon?
Yes.
He killed them. Then, Radharani said, old Gopi said, you shouldn't have done that. It's very bad. You committed sin.
Yeah.
Now you have to, regret that you do have to do something about that. So bring the whole rivers together.
Yeah.
And, then dip into them and, you pashatap it, So he just brought all the Ganga, Yamuna, all the rivers and made a kund.
How did
So
he do it? He just put his foot on the floor, on the floor, and then
on the ground,
yeah, and then
so they all came down the ground, and he made a kund there, and he was playing in the water there. And Radharani thought, this is no good because I need one as well.
Yeah.
So they're trying to bring from Yamuna the water, digging it the hole, and with the buckets they were trying to fill the
You know how they were trading their ponds?
Then they couldn't do that. Then in the end,
bangles, isn't it? The bangles, yeah.
In the end, Krishna, showed the mercy, and he asked all the Ganga, Yamuna, and the Saraswati, all the rivers to go in there and help Radharani. So they went in there. They made Radha Kund over there as well.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for speaking such beautiful. I'm sure many of you have been to Radha Kund before, so we just meditate on the Radha Kund today, and just we do Manasa Parikrama, like when we are not in Vrindavan, we can sit at home and we can close our eyes and we can remember the day when we were there. If not, there are also lots of beautiful pictures, even YouTube videos. If we have not been there, we can see and we can just meditate that, that we are in Radha Kund and we are, forming the worship. So which is as good as being there. It is said by the sages that it is when you perform Manasa Parikrama, you actually are as good as there. So is it because the whole of this Krishna consciousness is about consciousness. Consciousness is beyond the matter, beyond the body. So if our consciousness is in Vrindavan, we are in Vrindavan. So wherever our consciousness is, that's where we are. So on all the whole of this month, we observe different beautiful pastimes. We discuss those pastimes and we perform the parikrama of the Rajmandal of Vrindavan. So thank you so much for sharing those. There is one more pastime. So okay, there's other thing I was thinking today is, so this chapter we done so far, Krishna is but before that, he's saying that vinashaya cha dushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya. So he's doing all that. So do we agree about the vinashaya cha dushkritam? What does it mean? So the way it's translated is annihilating the miscreants. Do we agree with that? Does he really do that? Anyone? Does Krishna really annihilate the miscreants?
No, Prabhuji.
Annihilate? Yeah. So go on, Venkat, Prabhu.
Sorry, I understand the question. Question is, does Krishna appear to annihilate the demons?
Yeah. So he says to establish a religion, to protect devotees, to annihilate the miscreants. My question, Prabhu, was, does he really annihilate the miscreants?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yes, he killed the Kansa and Ravana.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Hiranyakashipu.
He does. Yes.
Yeah.
But Krishna is actually, he is various aspects. What is the most beautiful aspect of Krishna is, we chant the verses, Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagatapate. He's Karuna Sindhu. So Krishna, whatever he does, what overpowers his own nature, there's some, so we all have a particular nature. Yeah, we follow our nature. We have some tendencies. Obviously, we have mostly materialistic tendencies, but even then, we have some tendencies. We are all typical in one way or the other. Everyone has a certain mood, isn't it? So we because we are all individual, we are all personal. We all have certain mood, and everyone is different. But Krishna has this particular mood of Karuna Sindhu. He's like extremely merciful. So when Krishna says, he annihilates the miscreants and he awards, he says, as all surrender unto me, I award them accordingly. Do we agree with that? I reward them accordingly. I mean, Krishna is making a statement about who are we to agree or not agree. But I was thinking, and actually I was hearing a class from some devotee as well. He made a beautiful point. What he said is, when Krishna says, I reward them accordingly, he does that. But because of his nature of being extremely kind and extremely merciful, he actually over-delivers. So normally in the world, overseas, people promise something and they deliver. They're considered to be Mahajan. They're the top people, in our material sense. But Krishna is someone who does over-deliver every time. Any example anyone can think of how he over-delivers?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, is that Putana?
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What's the pastime? What happened with Putana? What did she want to do with Krishna? What did Krishna do with her?
Putana wanted to kill Krishna.
Yeah.
And she took her away and she wanted to breastfeed him.
Yeah.
And they put poison on her breast.
Yeah.
And when he tried to do that, Krishna sucked her life.
Yeah.
and gave her, delivered her.
Why did he deliver her? Because
he's Karuna Sindhu, because she was mother, became mother.
So Krishna is in that pastime. It's so amazing that when she wanted to kill Krishna, it is said that when she had the first look at Krishna, she was because Krishna is the most beautiful. She was so mesmerized by Krishna's beauty. She had that motherly love because Krishna was a little baby. She developed, for a fraction of the moment, she had the love of a mother, and Krishna captured that. Wow, look at this. This person loves me. Nothing else bothers him now. After he says, okay, he has to do what he has to do. But then He gives eternal position of a mother to Putana. Now, who can do that? Now, if you see all the demons that he kills, eventually all of them, what happens to them? He grants them liberation. He annihilates, but he actually puts them in a much higher position, isn't it? So Krishna is helpless against his own nature. He just wants to, he just cannot stop but give and give love to everyone, give more than what he actually promises. This exact verse that you just, there's a Bhagavatam verse as well. So anyone can chant this verse, or I can, whoever, anyone inspired? Okay. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jigam sayapayad api asadhavi lebe krindate usitam tatonyam umva dayalum sharanam rajema. The translation goes, alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, Putana, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. This is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, pretty much in the beginning, third canto. So this is the beauty of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And if you go through like Jagai Madai, you in the Mahaprabhu's pastime, or any you just name every example that you see, Krishna just does beyond what he promises.
Alexa, can you remind me of Zoom call at 9:45 a.m. on Sunday?
Oops. Sorry, I was thinking some other Zoom call also going on. Okay, Hare Krishna. So that's amazing. So anyone else would like to say anything? Would recall anywhere where Krishna over delivers?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Shishupal.
Yes.
Shishupal.
Please say that pastime, Prabhu.
I mean, I exactly don't remember. Like he had something, one additional hand or ear or something, or eye, and in the childhood it was mentioned that he will be actually delivered only from the person where he do not cry in the lap, and it was only Krishna's lap. He was not crying, I think. And then Krishna, when mother of Shishwal asked him that don't kill him, he said like I can accept up to 100 mistakes, but after that I cannot stop.
Yeah.
But even after killing him, he took him with him actually. Lord Krishna
Yeah.
took him with him, along with him.
So amazing, isn't it? And
Yeah.
this is the situation where people are enemical of Krishna. They're trying to hate Krishna. And this is what Krishna does to them. So what to speak of devotees? How would Krishna respond to his devotees? There is a beautiful pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita of Sakshi Gopal. Does anyone know Sakshi Gopal pastime? I will say the pastime a little bit. So we'll take in 5 minutes. Yeah, go on. Yes.
Is anybody can tell?
I will speak this pastime and then we will discuss this. Okay, we got 5 minutes. I will speak and 5 minutes you can add Mataji. Yeah? So because there were two Brahmins and they were living in Vidyanagar. Vidyanagar is a place in South India somewhere. It used to be in Telangana. Before, even now it has come back in Telangana, I think. So these two Brahmins wanted to go. There was this old Brahmin and there was a young Brahmin. And both of them wanted to go for pilgrimage. And the younger Brahmin actually took the reason he was going was mainly to serve this older Brahmin, because the older one was very nice, very pious devotee of the Lord, and the younger Brahmin was so attracted to him that he desired to serve him. So he said, okay, I will come with you and I can help you in your, because you're old and you may be struggling because it's a long travel when they go on the pilgrimage. So they started from South India and they went via the route. They went to Gaya, then they went to Prayag and Kashi, and somehow then traveling from all those places, they finally ended up in Mathura. And Mathura, then they went to all the 12 forests of Vrindavan. They went to Govardhan. And they again finally arrived at Vrindavan. At Vrindavan, when they arrived, they stayed over at a temple, Gopal temple, and the deity there was so beautifully decorated. The whole place was so beautiful, and deity was so beautiful. They said maybe we should just stay here for some more time. So they stayed there for 2-3 days, 4 days, I think it says. And as they were saying it, and every day observing the aarti at the temple, and doing the parikrama within Vrindavan, and the older Brahmin was very grateful to the young one. He said, "You served me so nicely. I really want to reward you accordingly, appropriately, and I think I will marry my daughter to you." When he says that, the younger Brahmin says, "See, I am not here, to take any reward from you." Both of them are really actually Prabhupada said they're Nitya Siddhas. We'll figure out now how it happened. So the younger Brahmin says, "See, I'm not here, sir, to take anything from you. I just want to serve you because you're such a nice devotee of Sri Krishna. And if I can serve you, maybe my Lord will be pleased with me. That's my only intention. So you don't have to give me your daughter in marriage. I'm not after that." So but the old Brahmin says, "No, see, you have served me so nicely. I really want to give you my daughter." He's insisting. But then younger Brahmin says, "You see, you are saying this, but remember that you're a learned person, you are a very aristocratic, rich Brahmin. I am a poor, I don't have enough knowledge. And so it is not appropriate that you want to give me your daughter. That relationship may not be the best. Even if you wanted to give your daughter, maybe your wife and your family relative will object, just like what happened in the case of Rukmini. So Bhishmaka, the father of Rukmini Devi, he wanted to marry her to Krishna. But Rukmini's brother, Rukmi, he was very envious of Krishna. So he wanted to marry his sister to Shishupal. So the younger Brahman said, "See, even if you want to marry your daughter to me, the same way the Bhishmaka had a problem, you will have a problem as well, because your relatives, your son and your wife, they will not agree to this. Who will agree to marry their daughter to a poor Brahman? And I have no knowledge, nothing. So what this doesn't matter." So he was giving lots of arguments to not do that. But then the older Brahman said, "No, please accept this." He's saying, "So you have to accept it." So he was almost forcing. Then the younger Brahman said, "Look, if you really insist and you think this is the right thing to do, I'm still not sure whether this will happen. So if you insist you want to give me your daughter in marriage, it may happen that people will not accept. So we need this. We need someone to witness it. And who can be better witness than Gopal himself? There's Gopal deity there. So and then they say, "Can you?" Then he says to the older Brahmin, "Can you say in front of the Gopal deity that you will keep your promise?" And he's the witness. And the older Brahmin says in front of the Lord Gopal, he says, "Yes, I make this promise that I will give you my daughter in marriage." And the younger Brahmin says to Krishna, says, "You are the who can be better witness than you, Sri Gopal, and if the time comes, you will have to, give your witness to this, what he's saying." So he just says to Gopal, and they agree, and they said, okay, they come back. And as they come back to the village, the older Brahman goes back to his home, is all the time very grateful to the younger Brahman boy. And he says why he really intended to do that. And he comes back home, and then a few days goes, and then the older Brahman starts to think, how this is going to work. Because if I say this, I have made this promise and I have to give this promise. I made this promise in front of Gopal, so I cannot back out, and I must keep my promise. So he calls his family, and makes an announcement. See, when I was on the pilgrimage, this younger Brahmin, he served me so nicely. I have to reward him. We're getting short of time. I'll try to go fast. So I have to give my daughter in marriage. But the family says, there's no way we're going to allow that. We will kill ourselves. We'll commit suicide if you did that. So he says, no, I can't do that. There was an argument. And then somehow he's under pressure because the family said they will commit suicide. He said, I don't know what to do now. I'm in a fix. So the son, Brahman's son, was a little bit, cunning fellow. So he was saying, you can just say that I don't remember. Older man, people will agree. People will agree when you say that. Oh, the older man can't remember. He might have said something. So the younger Brahman comes to the family and to the old Brahman says, you remember you promised me that you'll give me a daughter. Now I'm here, but I'm not hearing anything from you. What's going on? And now the whole family is there. And the old Brahman says, oh, I can't exactly remember. What did I say? And when he said that, the younger Brahman, the older Brahman picked up from there and then started to say, okay, this is what you do. You were after our money. You made my father eat some dhatura or some intoxicant, and you tried to loot my father. And he called the rest of the villagers. Everyone got together there, and then they started to give this argument that this young Brahman who is after is after my father's money, and he took him in the parikrama, but we don't know what he was doing to him, and now he's coming back and asking for my sister's hand. This is not good. So they were playing trick. And the younger Brahman said, I know this old Brahman does not want to do this, but hey ho, we have a witness. And if everyone agrees me to bring the witness, then they say, okay, if there's any witness, you can bring. And then he says, okay, there's a witness of Gopal, the deity in Vrindavan. He was the witness. And if he comes and he says, then will you agree? And everyone was like, wow. The father was relieved in a way, because father was, as a devotee, he realized, okay, if Krishna comes here, that way my words will be kept and Krishna will protect me, and I'll be able to do what I promised. And the son of the Brahman was the cunning fellow who was thinking other way. He was thinking, this is how the Krishna says, as people surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So the son of the Brahman was thinking, well, it's only a deity, it's Murti. Murti cannot come here. Murti cannot talk. Let him do this. He was saying, okay, this younger Brahman is such a fool. He said, yeah, that's fine. If you can bring the witness from Vrindavan, Gopal can come here. If he says, we will agree. And then the younger Brahman says, okay, that's fine. He goes to Vrindavan. He says to Gopal, look, Gopal, you were here, and the older Brahman had made his promise. And now I told you at the time that when there is a need, you're going to have to come and witness. And Gopal says, okay, well, here's the thing. Why don't you go there as you gather everyone, and I'll appear there and I will tell everyone. But the younger Brahman would not agree. He said, no, that's not how it should work. You promised to be the witness, and now you have to come with me. Then Gopal says, look, deities don't walk around. We just stay where we are. But he says, well, devotees don't walk around, but they don't talk either. You're talking to me, that means you can also walk. Then Gopal was smiling. He said, okay, well, this devotee is such a nice, sweet devotee. I have to agree to what is. This is the love the devotees exchange with Krishna, and Krishna exchange with this devotees. I'm just conscious of time, so obviously we know that for the stories. That's the story when. And then Gopal says, okay, if you insist, I will go. And you keep going ahead. Don't look back. The moment you look back, I stop there. And every day you have to feed me 1 kilo of rice. The younger Brahman agrees, okay, yeah, that's fine. So they start a journey from Vrindavan to the Vidyanagar. Just imagine the amount of distance they're going to travel. And they go all the way. Every day Brahman is cooking and offering 1 kilo rice to Krishna, Gopal, and Gopal is taking the offering. They're walking, and the way it was like, Gopal says to devotee, if you hear the ankle bell ring, that means I'm following you. That's all you need to know. Don't look back. You look back and I stop. So that's the devotee goes on, and he just as they reach the village, the younger Brahmin thinks, okay, now it's safe to look back whether Krishna is there or not, because I don't want to go there and announce, come back to realize Krishna is not there. So he looks back and Krishna then smiles, and he just, stays there. Then he says, okay, you can go and call all the villagers and I'll give the witness. And, this is what happened, that everyone comes, and looking at Gopal, everyone is mesmerized by his beauty and charm, and there is no way that anyone can now challenge that. But this is the nature of our Krishna. I mean, I've tried to cut the story long, but it's such a beautiful, beautiful pastime. And I would really request everyone to read this chapter 5 in Madhya Leela. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 5, Madhya Leela. Such beautiful pastimes. This is the nature of our Lord. So I hope that was okay. So I thought today let's discuss some pastimes and some beautiful examples. There are unlimited examples that we can discuss of Krishna's loving and kind and merciful and full of compassionate nature. So that ends the discussion now. I think we are ready to chant Damodar Ashtakam now.
Yes, Prabhuji, we have Shailaja Mataji singing the bhajan and Namrata Mataji reading the English translation. Could you share the lyrics on the screen, please?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Is this good enough?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Damodarashtakam. Namamishwaram Satchidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Namamishwaram Satchidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Yashodabhiyolokaladhavamanam Paramrishtamatyantato Drutya Gopya Rudhantam Muhurnetrayugmam Vijantam Karambhojayugmena Satankanetram Muhushvasakam Padrirekhankakantha Stitagraivam Damodaram Bhaktibaddham Iti Druksvalilabhiranandakunde Svaghosham Nimachantam Akhyapayantam Tadiyeshitagneshu Bhaktirjitatvam Punah Prematastam Shatavritti Vande Varam Deva Moksham Namokshavadim Va Nachanyam Vruneham Varishadapiha Idam Teva Purnatha Gopala Balam Sadami Manasya Virastam Kimanyai Idam te mukhambojamatyantanilai Rutam kuntalai snigdharaktaischa gopya Mohoschumbitam bimbarakadharam me Manasya virastam alam lakshalabhyai Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalam Dimagnyam Kripa Drishti Drishyati Dinam Vatanu गृहाणि क्षमाम् अज्ञामित्यैक्षिदृश्यै कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धामूर्त्यै भयत्वात् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्ते स्तुधाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाथा विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमस्ते स्तुधाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाथा विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीया प्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाया देवाय तुभ्यं नमो राधिकायै त्वदीया प्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाया देवाय तुभ्यं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् यशोदाभियोलोकलाधवमानं परामृष्टमात्यन्त तो धृत्य गोप्या हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा
Hare Krishna. That was beautiful singing, Mataji. Okay, so to the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt, and his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed to that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara. I offer my humble obeisances. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To thee, Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with ropes but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to the Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds of times. Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 process of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopala in Vrindavan may ever be manifested in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boons besides this? Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair, tingled with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifested in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you, O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord. Please be pleased upon me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver these poor ignorant fools who is mesmerized in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. Lord Damodara, just as the 2 sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nakuvara were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. Lord Damodara, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to you, most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all my obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Namrata Mataji. So nicely recited with so much mood and so much nice sentiments. Thank you so much. And it goes in the same theme as we were discussing today. See, this Satyavat Muni is able to, he says that you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, Lord. So who can give? Who has it, right? So Lord, our Krishna owns everything that's in the world. Is his. He, belongs to him. So he's the owner. Only that person who owns can give. I can't give because I don't have it. Or someone else can't give. They don't have it. If you ask someone who doesn't have it, they can't give it. Why can Lord give? Because he owns everything. Everything belongs to him. Everything is created by him. Everything is in him. And but the devotees, the mood of devotees is to just, what does it say? I just want, I simply wish that this form of yours is Bala Gopala and Vrindavan. So we discuss about the Gopala and Vrindavan. May ever manifest in my heart. But what is the use to me of any other boon besides this? This is the mood of a devotee. And what is the future? What is the danger of engaging in the material opulence? Who is the Kuvera? Kuvera is the treasurer of the demigod. Like he has all the riches, and his sons Manigrava and Kuvera were intoxicated in that because of the wealth. I didn't know how to behave in front of a sage. So what happened with them? Because it was a curse by Narad Muni himself. Eventually, like the Lord, like his devotees, even if they curse, there is a benediction in that. This is another example of how the Lord works and how the devotees of the Lord work. So apparently, what is a punishment works out to be a benediction. Similarly, apparently, what is a punishment from Sri Krishna works out to be a benediction. So this is so beautiful. Thank you so much. Should we do any? We got 3 more minutes. Any questions? Anything? I'm just reading through. Yeah, beautiful bhajans. Thank you so much. It was so inspiring. Anyone would like any comments, questions, corrections? Okay, so got 2 more minutes. There is another verse which Prabhupada uses quite often. It's from Katha Upanishad. It says, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Vidadhati Kaman. So Nityo Nityanam, so one who is the one of the all eternals, and who is the one of the all consciousness, the consciousness of the all consciousness, and he is one alone. Eko Bahunam Vidadhati Kaman. He is fulfilling everyone's desires. That is our Supreme Lord. And this is Upanishad speaking. So some people say, well, where is it written that Krishna is God? So that's another class and discussion itself. But there are Upanishads examples, so many quotations from Upanishad. That he is the one. Even Shankaracharya himself says that Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. So everyone is speaking and worshipping Sri Krishna, no matter who they are, what they're doing. It's just a matter of difference in the mood. A devotee does not want anything from Krishna. Devotee wants to give to Krishna. And that's how Krishna says to the gopis, and Vrindavan says, I have nothing to give you in return. So that's how Krishna feels for his devotees. But the others who want from Krishna, well, Krishna gives them, but then Krishna thinks, well, what is he asking for? When someone can give you gold or diamonds, someone can give diamond and be asking for glasses, piece of glass, a broken piece of glass. So that's not intelligence. The devotees are intelligent. They know what to ask from whom, and they know who Krishna is and what Krishna has to give us. There's a beautiful pastime also in Sanatana Goswami. There was this person who was, who thought that Sanatana Goswami is such a saintly person. He can give me anything. There is a touchstone of gold. Anything you touch, if you touch iron, it becomes gold. So he goes to Sanatana Goswami and says, do you have that stone? Someone told me that you have the paras, the stone. He says, yeah, it is there it's lying there in the rubbish. He goes there, what? In the rubbish. He says, yeah, go get it. He says, okay. He goes and he goes in the rubbish and he finds it. He says, this is stone. Yeah, it is a stone. How do you check? Okay, you just touch anything, it becomes gold. He touches something, it becomes gold. Wow. He says, and this is the stone you just put in the rubbish area, the pile of rubbish. That means it's not good for you. He says, no, I don't really care. Then that person thinks, oh, because he's putting this, touchstone in the rubbish, that means there's something higher than this, right? What this person has. I must get that from him. So he says, no, you have to give me that. What you think is higher than this? Then he, Sanatana Goswami, then he gives him the devotional services and blesses him. So this is the beautiful pastimes of the Lord. Thank you very much. There are no questions, so probably everyone is happy. I didn't much make sense. I hope made some sense and it was nice, devotees. So thank you very much. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful Kartik month. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.